Imagine spending your entire life trying to become one of the 15 best fighters in the world. You train every day. You get punched in the head for a living, destroy your body to make 170 pounds, and finally, you get that little number next to your name, and you think, I've made it. I'm one of the best welterweights alive. And then Islam Makhachev decides that he wants to move up and rule the division. Now, all of a sudden, everything you've worked for means nothing, because apparently this man wasn't satisfied with running the lightweight division. He needed to move up and run another one. And after watching him fight Ian Garry, it got me thinking, is there actually anyone at welterweight that I would confidently pick to beat Islam Makhachev? Because this division, I feel like it has everything. It has giant 6'3", 6'4", 200+ pound guys, elite wrestlers, elite strikers, the undefeated prospects, Belal Muhammad's blockhead of doom. So many different things. Probably the deepest division we have now, with so many different types of guys. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look through this entire division. We're going to figure out exactly how they would do against Islam Makhachev. And I already know by the end of this video, some of you guys are going to hate me. But that's the risk I'm going to take. But first of all, guys, before we do that, remember to like, remember to subscribe. If you don't worry. I won't be mad. I'll just be a little disappointed and a little bit sad. But in all seriousness, guys, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate all of you guys who have subscribed so far. It means the world to me. And all you guys who will subscribe in the future, thank you so much. But let's get back to this video. Islam Makhachev, he's ruling over a super stacked division right now. Unfortunately, we are starting at number 15, and that's not super. Yeah, you'll see who I'm talking about. We have Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez. You know what? I'm going to say it. Prime D-Rod, he gives Islam some real smoke. He gives him some real problems. He's going to put that 5'9", didn't, bend at all, just moving back and forth. That phenomenal blitz. I don't know if Islam can handle that. I'll be honest. No, in all seriousness, we're probably going to breeze through these first couple guys. D-Rod, sorry to tell you, kid, you stand no chance against Islam Makhachev. Islam could probably outstrike D-Rod on the feet, if I'm being honest here. D-Rod, he has power. He doesn't have the greatest of chins. He doesn't get finished, but he gets dropped. He's not technical. He's pretty old. Not the greatest of grappling either. Worst case, Islam takes him down and subs him. This is an easy first-round finish for Islam. But like I said, these first few guys we're going to breeze through pretty quickly. Second guy we have, Kevin Holland. I can't believe I'm saying it. This could be an interesting fight. Now, what do I think happens? I think Islam takes him down and subs him in the first round. However, Kevin Holland is a tall, lanky guy who's fought at middleweight before. Islam has showed that bigger guys like JDM who are around his size, he can handle that. Guys who are longer, that could pose some problems for him. But I don't think Kevin Holland has the skill to make those problems happen. I think Islam has enough skill to overcome that size gap pretty easily. I have him subbing Kevin Holland, but on the feet, it could be interesting. Kevin Holland has a complete blockhead, crazy chin, decent power, but it's not going to stay on the feet. The moment Islam realizes, you know what, I can just sub this guy in 2 seconds, that's what he's going to do. Again, first round sub for Islam. And again, I'm saying first round sub. Islam hasn't really gotten close to a sub at welterweight yet, but he's fighting guys like Ian Garry, like JDM, who have amazing submission and wrestling defense, and he's still out-wrestling them. So, again, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll give the kid a little bit of benefit. I say he subs Kevin Holland in the first round. Now, we have his first challenge, Yaroslav Amosov. However, I think they're overrating Yaroslav Amosov a little bit. Yeah, he submitted Joel Alvarez in the second round. We've seen Joel Alvarez, he isn't that, especially at welterweight, where he's not 12 foot taller than all of his opponents. He's not a crazy weight bully. He's not some sort of world beater. Yaroslav Amosov, yeah, he finished him in the first round, in the second round, sorry. That doesn't mean he beats Islam. And I feel like even then people were overrating, because before that, Joel Alvarez was dominated on the ground at lightweight by Arman Tsarukyan. Arman took him down and completely busted him open in the first round, did more damage than Yaroslav could, controlled him more effectively than Yaroslav could, took him down easier than Yaroslav could in that first round, and finished him. I'm pretty sure he finished him in the first. Maybe it was the second as well, but I don't know. I feel Islam's not going to offensively out-grapple Yaroslav, I'll say. Yaroslav, he's shown he stuffed Hamzat's takedowns in training, taking down Hamzat, but I think on the feet it's night and day. We've seen in Bellator, I think Jason Jackson is his name, put him out cold, stopped all the wrestling. I think Islam could do something similar. Maybe not put him out cold, but just outstrike him later in the fight, maybe mix in the wrestling. I see Islam maybe not finishing Yaroslav, but dominantly beating him. It could pose some problems, though. We have to see how good Yaroslav is. I think it's too early to call, but from what we've seen, sorry, kid, you're getting packed up. You're getting packed up, brother. You're getting packed up. Sorry, that was an Islam Makhachev rep. That wasn't just me. That wasn't just I guess that was me. Anyway, you know what? Let's just move on. I forgot. I don't actually have to address that. Let's just move on. We have the Canadian Dream, Mike Malott. I have 3 words for you. TKO'd by Magny. TKO'd by Magny. I'm sorry. Mike Malott, he could pose some problems. He's got underrated power. He's got decent wrestling defense, decent offensive wrestling. But I just haven't seen anything special from him, and I'm pretty sure he's 35. Hold on, though. Islam himself is like 34, so I can't use that too much. But he's not going to be getting any better. I haven't seen anything amazing from him. TKO'd by Neil Magny because he gassed out from the grappling. Took 3 rounds to finish geriatric Gilbert Burns, and even then didn't look amazing in that fight. Looked better than Burns, but he didn't look the way that he should have against 400-year-old Gilbert Burns, the worst version of Burns we've ever seen. I think I'd pretty easily pick Islam Makhachev ground and pound TKO. Probably Bobby Green style. If you guys have seen that fight Islam had against Bobby Green, I'd pick him to do something similar, but later on, not in the first round, probably the second or the third round. Take him down, ground and pound Mike Malott. I think Mike Malott, he's shown that he can quit. I don't like to call fighters quitters, but the kid has shown that you get TKO'd by Neil Magny. I'm sorry. I can't pick you to beat Islam Makhachev, especially, it's not like he's some young prospect who's improving. He's 35. Kid, you're a 35-year-old prospect. Get a job. How about you go get a job? Now we're going to move on. Again, another interesting prospect. I'm not calling Usman a prospect, but an interesting fight. Kamaru Usman. I don't think Islam will take him down consistently and be able to control him effectively, nor will he be able to submit Kamaru Usman. But Kamaru Usman, we've seen his striking recently. He's looked very stiff, very geriatric. You can hear when he throws a punch, his arms are going click, clack, click, clack. I don't know if you guys heard that in that DDP fight. I listened real close, turned my volume up. I heard every time Kamaru Usman threw a punch, bent his knees a little bit. All seriousness, though, Kamaru Usman, he's still super tough, still super durable. Has that wrestling, defensively at least. Has that defensive wrestling. Offensive, not as much. I know he out-grappled Buckley, but as we've seen recently, that's not exactly exceptional. But defensively, I think Islam won't be able to out-grapple him. But I just can't trust Kamaru Usman striking anymore. It's looked super regressed recently. Outstruck easily by Buckley. Outstruck easily by DDP. And they're decent strikers, don't get me wrong. DDP, an amazing striker. But I don't know. I just don't see Islam losing to Kamaru Usman. Again, I don't see him finishing Usman either, so that could get interesting. Islam did show he could gas, and he had to clinch Garry against the fence in those later rounds to win the fight. But I don't think Usman will gas, but I also don't think he'll be able to be as effective on the feet as Ian Garry to take advantage of a gassed Islam. I have Islam by a close decision, I'll say. Maybe he might even win every round, but I think the later rounds will be close. I still have Islam winning that one. Now we have Uroš Medić, the scariest 2 minutes of Islam Makhachev's life. Islam, stop running from us, kid. We are coming. No, in all seriousness, he has the fluke potential. He could go out there because Islam gets these bigger guys that hit harder, up a weight class, are heavier. He's shown that he stays on the feet a little longer, trying to find that takedown. Once he gets it, he tries to keep you there. He's not going to risk the striking, but he won't just dive in for that takedown ASAP. He has to set it up because he doesn't want to risk running in against a guy like Uroš Medić. You're on the feet with them a little too long. He may just slime out Islam Makhachev in that first round, but again, I'm picking Islam by a sub in this one, subbed by Jalen Turner. And I know it was a club and sub, but still, I just can't trust you to beat Islam Makhachev if you're Uroš Medić. But before I know it's D-Rod, Before the D-Rod fight, I was thinking, Uroš Medić, he's going to go to war with D-Rod maybe. It's going to be a close fight. He's shown some holes. I think he's getting better. He could possibly pose some problems for Islam, but at the moment, I got to say, Islam by a first-round submission. I know I'm giving Islam a lot of props with these guys, but you guys got to remember, he's fighting the champion and the number one contender. That's the only people he's fought at welterweight, the best guys at welterweight. So, I know he couldn't sub JDM. He dominated JDM. I know, close fight with Ian Garry. Ian Garry is like the best guy in the division outside of Islam. So, I can't be too mad at him, but I'm picking him by a first-round sub against Uroš Medić. Joaquin Buckley, my GOAT. When they slander your GOAT, but they're low-key right. He made Kamaru Usman look like he was in his prime. He made Kamaru Usman look like Islam Makhachev. He made 42-year-old, 700-year-old Kamaru Usman look like he was in his prime. He was prime Makhachev against Charles Oliveira. Maybe Buckley can defend the submissions. Maybe he can, avoid getting too hurt by the ground and pound, but I can't trust that to happen for 5 rounds. And trust me, no matter how long this fight goes, how many rounds it goes, Islam will get a takedown in every single one of those rounds. Joaquin, yeah, he could fluke him on the feet, but even then, he wasn't able to fluke Brady on the feet. On the feet. Brady has a worse chin than Islam, in my opinion. So I think I've learned my lesson. I picked Buckley against Usman. I picked him against Brady. I'm not picking him against Islam. If that fight ever happened, I'm sorry. Buckley, my GOAT. I didn't want to do this. You're getting slimed out by Islam. I won't even say a sub. I'll say 50-45. I think Joaquin, he could survive on the ground long enough, but I just see him. I see him getting dominated every single round. Maybe he can do something later on, but I doubt it. Give me Islam Makhachev by a 50-45 decision. Leon Edwards, he has an underrated chance, I know, but I'm not washed. I can still beat Islam Makhachev. I'm not washed. Leon, he has all the tools there to beat Islam, I think. Good takedown defense. Good, long, rangy striking. On the ground, good survivability, able to get back to his feet. However, I just know he would be up 4 rounds on Islam Makhachev and then shoot a takedown on him and stuff his head into a darce and get choked out cold. In all seriousness, I don't think he would, ever be 4 rounds up on Islam, but I just can't trust his fight IQ. I see Leon somewhere or another ruining this fight for himself. Again, all the skills there to beat Islam, in my opinion, but he just can't put it together. He makes the worst decisions. I don't know if you guys saw, there was like during the 100 men versus 1 gorilla, it was like, when Leon Edwards is, when you and Leon are the only 2 left against the gorilla and you see him shooting a takedown and get ripped in half. That's generally him against Islam Makhachev. He could be up and then he would just completely fumble it one way or another. And I don't know. I feel like Leon's elite in theory, and I know he was champion, so I can't say he's not, but he just hasn't played out recently. So again, I think I'd pick Islam by a later round sub, or maybe a later round ground and pound TKO, but I think I'll pick a submission. Now, you guys are going to hate what I'm about to say. You guys are about to hate what I'm going to say. I got Belal Muhammad beating Islam Makhachev. Now, you guys may be a little confused by that. Let me explain. I don't think Islam would be able to take down Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad has the best takedown defense in UFC history, in my opinion. Better than Usman, better than Hamzat Chimaev, better than any of these guys. Maybe GSP has better takedown defense. Maybe Aldo does. I don't know. I don't think Islam's taking him down. I don't think Islam's knocking out Belal Muhammad, the blockhead himself. Belal Muhammad, he generally has crazy cardio. We saw Islam gas in his last fight in those later rounds. He has the blockhead of doom. He's not getting put out cold. He has underrated boxing and crazy takedown defense. Islam's going to be stuck. Hey, Islam's going to be stuck on the feet with Belal Muhammad. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Trust me. You don't want to be stuck on the feet with this guy. In all seriousness, though, I got Belal beating him. I got Belal beating him by a crafty decision. A close decision. Don't get me wrong. Islam wins the first round, but I think Belal can take it. If you guys think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I feel like I'm right. All right, moving on to the next guy, Gabriel Bonfim. I feel like this is one of those fights where I'd pick Islam, but I'd be terrified. I feel like there's a comical size difference here. Gabriel Bonfim, he's one of like those big welterweights. I could see him just like leg kicking Islam, not taking any risk, just beating Islam that way. But I think I have Islam. I think Islam would be able to take him down. If what's his name? Not Randy Brown, the guy who Randy Brown knocked out. Nicholas Dalby. If Nicholas Dalby can take you down and break you on the ground, I'm pretty confident that Islam can. I know Belal didn't. Okay, let me reconsider that Belal pick. Belal looked like a victim against Bonfim. Huh. It's a close fight, Belal and Islam. I don't know who I'd pick in that one, but for Bonfim, I got Islam subbing him. I think I think he would break him on the ground eventually, find that sub. I know he's not as high pace of a grappler as Nicholas Dalby, but Nicholas Dalby cut through him like butter, took him down at will once he was tired. I think Belal, he just didn't have a good game plan in that Bonfim fight, and he may just be washed now. I'm not washed. I'm not washed. But he may just be washed now. Maybe that's why he couldn't do it, but I got Islam subbing Gabriel Bonfim. Probably third round, I'd say, in the third round. Sean Brady. This is similar to the Belal fight, except Sean Brady is a victim on the feet. I got Islam by a second round KO. Not even a TKO, a head kick KO. Put Sean Brady down, ground and pound TKOs him. You know what? I'll say a TKO. A TKO from Islam. Sean Brady, he's not super tall. He doesn't have the range on Islam. Yeah, he's thick and densely built. He's not taking down Islam Makhachev. Islam doesn't have to out-grapple him. I think he just outstrikes him on the feet. And once Brady faces adversity, can't take someone down, gets, hit clean on the chin, he kind of wilts. Yeah, I see that happening here. Gets hit with the head kick, gets wobbled, goes to the ground. Islam TKOs him there. I got Islam by a pretty easy second-round TKO in this one. Don't feel the need to explain this one too much. Brady is a victim on the feet, but he does have the Brady Blitz of Doom, where he runs forward with those 1-2s. Maybe that could give Islam some trouble. I doubt it. My sweet Pookie Bear JDM. My bloody JDM. He got fluked in the Islam Makhachev fight. Give that 5 more rounds. That stupid wrestling from Islam. He just didn't want to fight. That doesn't count in my opinion. But let's be serious here. It goes the exact same way. JDM, it might even go worse with the damage JDM's taken from Prates. His leg kick defense has been exposed. Islam was able to expose that on him. I see it going the same way. This time, maybe even worse for JDM. I don't know how it could be worse, actually, but maybe more leg kicks. Maybe he gets more hurt in the feet. I don't know. But, again, the exact same way as the first. It's going to be bad. I see JDM getting completely smoked by Islam in a rematch. Now, Michael Morales, another comically large size difference in this fight. I'm going to say it. I think he KOs Islam within 2 rounds. Islam isn't taking down Michael Morales. I'm sorry. I know other guys have. They're bigger, and they eventually got finished. They got hurt. I think Islam would try. He wouldn't. We've seen him against guys like Ian Garry. He was hesitant in certain rounds once Ian Garry showed he was willing to throw back to go for that takedown because he didn't want to charge in. Ian Garry isn't a powerful striker. Michael Morales, he can hit Islam Makhachev one time and start busting him open. I think Michael Morales puts him out cold in the second round. Going to have that low stance. Going to be huge against Islam. Genuinely a former lightweight versus a guy who should be at light heavyweight almost. Yeah, he weighs like 230 pounds off at non-camp, and he's lean then. It's not like he's fat. He's lean, 230 pounds. I see him. I just don't see a path to victory for Islam. Yeah, he could take him down and find that sub, but Michael Morales isn't just a victim on the ground. He's definitely not a victim on the feet. Decent takedown defense. I have him schooling Islam Makhachev and putting him out cold within 2 rounds, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. Now, we have Ian Garry. You guys are going to be mad at me again. In a rematch, Ian Garry wins. Ian wins a rematch. I don't care what anyone says. In a rematch, Ian Garry's 28 years old. Maybe they'll get a rematch in 2 years. Ian Garry will be 30 years old, entering his prime. Islam Makhachev, by the next time they fight, will be older, have taken more damage. He's 34 right now, going to be 35, 36 soon. I see Ian only getting better. And if he hadn't gotten dropped in that second round, I know if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bicycle. First of all, no, she wouldn't. She'd be your grandma with wheels. But second of all, Ian Garry, if he hadn't gotten dropped in that second round, I think he beats Islam pretty clearly, wins that second round, because Islam was looking tired by that second round. He wins that second round, third round, and fourth round, and fifth round was razor close. I think he beats Islam Makhachev if he doesn't get dropped in that second round, and I can't reliably pick Islam to do that again in another fight. I just can't. Yeah, he could, but I wouldn't predict it. From what I've seen in the first fight in a rematch, I would favor Ian Garry. Again, Islam could pull it off. We're talking about who I favor, though. I think this is like a 55-45 Ian Garry. 55% chance Ian Garry wins a rematch. Now, you have the final guy, and probably Islam Makhachev's next opponent, Carlos Prates, ranked ahead of Ian Garry for some reason. I guess, Ian Garry's schooling him. That means absolutely. Yeah, Prates has had some pretty good wins since then, though. But Carlos Prates, unfortunately, I have Islam Makhachev finishing him in the third round. Unlike the other guys, like Ian Garry, like Belal Muhammad, some guys who might be able to push a pace later on once Islam can't get those takedowns, I'm not rating Carlos Prates' cardio some insane cardio. He can work later in those rounds. No. I think Islam will be able to break him on the ground, put a pace on him in the grappling. Carlos Prates taken down by JDM, had his back taken by JDM. I don't see him surviving that position against Islam. Taken down by Leon Edwards, back taken by Leon Edwards. Maybe he could fluke Islam. That's a chance. That's a possibility. But I just see Islam finishing him, effectively out-grappling him. I hope I'm wrong because I'm a huge Prates fan. A lot of these guys, I'd root for Islam against most of this division. But Prates, please smoke Islam because I am a huge Prates fan. This is not Islam hate. This is not Islam hate. I just am a huge Prates fan. But I think he gets schooled by Islam. And that's the entire division. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I wrong? Was I off on any of these? I know a lot of people are going to be mad on that Ian Garry and Belal Muhammad pick, but I'm standing on it. I'm standing on it. All right, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Remember to like, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.